Hi everyone! I just thought I'd bob on really quickly just to say hi and see how you were going, but also because I've been doing some writing this morning, catching up on some emails, trying to clear the decks a little bit because I'm doing some Christmas shopping later on, and it occurred to me that I'm probably not the only one trying to manically condense everything in that I usually do into a much smaller space of time so that I can fit in all the preparations for Christmas as well. And I was just noticing, and I've been talking to other people about this and their experiences of Christmas. And you kind of do that thing, don't you? You know, where you're doing one thing, like I'll be writing a blog or writing a piece or whatever. And then there's like another part of your brain that starts to list everything else that you need to do. You know, oh, you need to do this, don't forget to do this, and you need to go pick that up, and you need to wrap this up, and you need to go and get some wrapping paper, and don't forget to order the food, and da 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 da. And it just keeps going like a running commentary, you know, like a bad Gilbert and Sullivan musical thing, you know. I've got my list. I think I've got like some kind of thesis going on here about all the things that I need to do. And of course, when we start to engage in that kind of thinking and we start adding to it and actively kind of adding to those lists, we become quite agitated and a little bit stressed about it. And maybe we might get a bit anxious about whether we are going to complete it all. And so we kind of start to create this kind of quite stressful scenario, you know, how we then start to tell ourselves that we're not going to get it done because we can't physically possibly do all this stuff in the amount of time that we have left, because there aren't enough hours in a day. There is only one of me. I only have one pair of hands and nobody is going to help me, and it's all just going to be a disaster and it's all going to go wrong and no one's going to have any presents. The turkey's not going to get cooked. The tree's going to be awful. And we just start to create this manic kind of thing in our heads, and it feels really, really real. And we know it feels real because we get that stressy feeling. We convince ourselves it's real because we have all of the evidence to support it. We have loads of evidence. You know, there are only 24 hours in the day, and we have a list that is 250 items long that we need to do. But is it really real? Is it really the reality of the situation? Or is it just our thinking creating a different reality? You see, the way I see it is that we're quite clever. All right, and we have the ability to create these kind of movies in our head. You know, there are movies of how our future is going to be, and it is a bit like a scary movie. You know, when you watch like we watch like crime stuff and things like that on occasion, and you know when there's a really bad, nasty, scary, axe murdery type character. Maybe he's lurking in the victim's loft or in the shed outside in the dark where you can't see him, and all of that. And it makes it really real, doesn't it? And you're sitting there and you're on the edge of your seat and you have that fear, you know, building inside of you. You know, you are there. You're there with the victim. You know, the music's going and everything, you know. But of course, that's not real at all, you know, it's just a TV set, they're actors, you know, the music is just like a piece of music, just a bunch of notes put in a certain way, you know, it's not really dark, it's just the kind of the lighting and the set and all of that. And then when you go to bed and you're laying in bed and it's dark and everyone else is asleep and you start hearing noises in the house, and you then start to imagine that that mass murderer is actually in your loft, that then feels really real as well, doesn't it? That feels kind of like, oh my goodness, he's really there. And I've done that before, you know, I've been there. And I know about this, but I've still been there. And that's the thing, isn't it? Our imagination is amazing. It can create a whole new situation based on something that we know isn't real, because we know it was just a TV program, we know it was just a movie, but our imagination can make it seem really real, that actually there is some basis of fact in there. And that's what we do about Christmas lists, okay? How many years have gone by when Christmas hasn't been lovely? You know, I look back and we've had some wonderful Christmases. You know, we've spent some wonderful time together. We've had some lovely family time. You know, it's all worked out. We've always had something to eat. There's always been gifts for the children. You know, there's always been a tree. It's always been there. We've covered all the basics. It's fine. And we've had an amazing time. So I know that when my thinking tells me I don't have enough hours in the day, I'm not going to do this. It's all going to be a disaster. It's going to be the worst Christmas ever for the children. They're just going to hate it. And I'm not going to be able to do this. I know I'm not going to be able to do that. And I know that isn't true. I know that isn't true because I know that I'm okay. I know it will be okay. Everything will be okay. It's just my thoughts creating a scary movie, a really bad movie, a bad movie that makes me feel really bad. And why would I want to do that? You know, why would I want to do that? Because it doesn't make me feel any better, and I know when I run it, then that's all I'm ever going to see. It's all that really rubbishy stuff. You know, if I tell myself I'm not going to be able to find presents for the kids, do you know what? I'm never going to see them. You know, I'm never going to see that gift that I know is just perfect, you know, for my daughter or something like that, because my mind would be closed to that opportunity because I'm busy telling myself what a disaster it's going to be. So if you catch yourself caught up in all the scary Christmas thinking, just take a minute and just think about what it is that your thinking is doing. And once we recognize it for what it is, that our thinking can't tell us anything about the reality that we're in, it is just our thinking at that moment. It's like somebody just comes along and flicks it away, just disappears. You know, like one of those bubbles that you had when you were a kid, you know, with the washing up and everything, and you blew the bubbles, and as soon as someone touched it, it just goes bing, and it disappears, and you go back to feeling okay. And then you can just enjoy it and just have a lovely Christmas, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So have a fantastic week, and I'll be chatting to you soon because I love doing this. And if you want to join in any kind of conversation, then pop over to my group, which is Your Amazing Space. I have a fabulous offer on at the moment. In fact, I'm offering some free coaching. So do pop over to my Facebook page, which is Andrea Morrison Coaching, and also to Your Amazing Space. You can follow me on Instagram. You can sign up to my newsletter. Just keep in touch because I'd love to know how you're doing. Okay, bye.